Chosen one, heaven is calling your name. You did not stumble upon this message. You were summoned. In the stillness of this moment, heaven leans in and calls you by name, not the name others gave you, not the title the world tried to strip away, but the true name etched in fire before the foundations of the earth. Chosen one, this is not a passing word of comfort. This is a divine dispatch, an urgent cry from the courts of heaven sent directly into the depths of your spirit. Everything around you may feel ordinary, but something holy is happening behind the veil. While others sleep, your spirit has been waking. While others scroll, you pause because something inside of you knows this is different. This is not inspiration. This is an alarm in the spirit. You felt it even when you couldn't explain it. The weight in your chest, the interruptions in your dreams, the strange ache that lingers even after you pray. That wasn't confusion, it was a call. That wasn't fatigue, it was the tremble of heaven shaking something loose in you. For too long you've wondered if you were seen, if you were heard, if your hidden tears held any meaning. And now heaven answers not with soft reassurance, but with a trumpet. The battle for your destiny has intensified because the hour of your emergence has come. Hell recognized your anointing before you did. That's why the warfare increased. That's why the pressure broke things off you that were never meant to stay. And now the throne has spoken. Now the scroll has been opened. Now your name is echoing through places you've never stepped into but were always meant to occupy. There is no turning back. The line has been drawn. You are standing on holy ground, and the atmosphere around you is charged with prophetic weight. Someone has tried to tamper with what belongs to you. Someone whose name begins with M has crossed a line in the unseen realm. They knew your dreams, they stood close, they smiled, but they carried jealousy in their heart. They whispered against you while you prayed for them. They tried to erase your name from the scroll of favor, but they failed. Heaven stepped in. Your name has been rewritten, not in ink but in gold. What they tried to close, God has multiplied. What they tried to bury, God is now raising before their very eyes. This is not a time to question. This is not a time to delay. You are not reading this by chance. You are being pulled into divine alignment. Heaven is calling, and your spirit already knows it. This is your hour. This is your summons. Chosen one, awaken. The time is now. This wasn't a message, it was a summons. If your heart felt it, don't stay silent. Type 77. My name is written in fire below. Let it be your answer to the call. Let heaven witness your response. The hour is now. Don't whisper, declare. The one named may exposed. They were never a stranger. They didn't attack from afar. They stood beside you, smiled at your victories, nodded at your prayers, and whispered encouragement with their lips while hiding poison in their heart. The betrayal did not come from an enemy you expected. It came from someone whose voice once comforted you. Their name begins with M, and heaven has seen everything. Every conversation behind your back, every manipulative word dressed in concern, every moment they smiled while secretly hoping you would fall. They were close enough to know your dreams, close enough to study your weaknesses, close enough to see the oil on your life, and that's exactly why they hated you. Not because of who you pretended to be, but because of who you truly are. While you cried out to God for peace, they were cursing your name in secret. While you prayed for their healing, they plotted your silence. But what they didn't realize is that the one they tried to curse is the one heaven has already crowned. The scroll they attempted to rewrite was sealed by God himself. Their schemes were detailed, their deception layered, but the hand of the Lord reached into the shadows and pulled the truth into the light. The pit they dug for you has become their own snare. The words they spoke to, stain your name, have returned to them with weight. What they meant for harm is collapsing under the weight of divine justice. And you, chosen one, are being vindicated not by men, not by arguments, but by fire from the throne of heaven. Do not let your heart be troubled by their mask. Do not let their smile fool you. The Lord, who watches all things, has exposed them not just to punish, but to protect you from further harm. Heaven is not only revealing the hidden enemy, but dismantling every spiritual contract they formed behind your back. Every false alliance, every secret wish for your failure, every soul tie woven through manipulation and control. God is cutting it now. The voice that once accused you is being silenced. The letters they wrote in lies are being burned by truth. The chains they forged in darkness are being shattered by the light of the Almighty. You won't have to defend yourself. You won't have to prove your heart. The one who sees in secret has already risen to defend your name. The very ones who said you would never rise will have to witness your elevation. The very lips that spoke curses will be stunned into silence. This is not revenge. This is holy reversal. This is divine justice. This is God protecting His own. Heaven has spoken, and what was once delayed is now being released. The scroll of favor that bears your name is no longer hidden. It is glowing in the light of the throne, pulsing with divine intention, trembling with the weight of what is about to be fulfilled. This is not just about blessing. It is about justice. It is about restoration. It is about divine recompense for every tear you wept in silence, for every promise you dared to believe when nothing around you made sense. You stood firm when the ground shook. You stayed kind when cruelty pressed in. You remained faithful when you could have walked away. And heaven never missed a moment. The time of quiet suffering is ending. The season of watching others prosper while you waited is being overturned. You were not forgotten. You were being preserved. What looked like denial was actually a refining fire. What felt like abandonment was preparation for glory. Now the scroll is open. Now the angels are moving. Now the doors they tried to shut are being flung wide by hands no man can resist. 7 doors for every one they tried to close. 7 streams of provision for every source they tried to block. What they thought would break you only positioned you for multiplication. While they conspired in secret, heaven multiplied your portion in silence. A financial miracle is being set in motion, not to indulge you, but to establish you. This release is strategic. It carries not only increase, but assignment. The resources coming to you are not random. They are righteous. They are coming through channels your enemies never saw, through people who were never supposed to bless you in ways that cannot be explained by logic, only by glory. And it will not stop there. Healing is now sweeping through your body, your household, your bloodline. What plagued generations before you is being cut off. What was labeled incurable is being reversed. What was whispered in fear is being replaced by the sound of revival. This divine intervention will touch every layer of your life. Broken relationships will begin to heal. Lost time will be redeemed. What you thought would never happen is already forming under the surface. You are not just receiving a blessing, you are being made whole. The weight you carried for years is lifting. The cloud is clearing. The angels assigned to your name are already in position. And the scroll that bears your inheritance is glowing alive, active, authorized. Do not hesitate now. Do not second-guess the move of God. What He is doing in your life carries eternal weight. This is not a blessing you earn. This is a covenant being honored. You are not stepping into a lucky season. You are stepping into divine order. What was delayed is now being delivered. What was sealed is now being opened. And what was written by fire, by truth, by mercy, can never be erased. They dug a pit for you, quietly, strategically, with calculated silence and cloaked intentions. They built it out of jealousy, lined it with accusation, covered it with flattery, and waited for you to fall. They thought your kindness made you easy. They mistook your forgiveness for weakness. They saw your open heart and believed it would make you blind. But heaven was watching. Not only did God see the pit, they recorded who dug it. And now the shift has come. The very snare they designed for your downfall has become the place of their exposure. The trap they buried in the dark is now lit by the fire of divine judgment, and the weight of their own deception is pulling them into what they hoped would swallow you. You will not fall there. You will not be buried there. You will rise from that place, and your rising will shake the silence they thought would cover their actions. They spoke lies with confidence because they believed no one would ever see. But heaven has eyes where man does not. The whisper in the back room has reached the courts of the Almighty, and now the judge has stood. This reversal is not symbolic, it is supernatural. This is not poetic justice, it is prophetic recompense. God did not just stop their hand, he reversed their reach. The more they cursed, the more favor grew. The more they planned, the more heaven positioned you. Their attempts to smear your name only caused heaven to mark it bolder. Their desire to see you forgotten only caused your story to shine louder. The voice they used to accuse you has now lost authority. The chain they forged to contain you has snapped under the weight of the anointing you carry. And you, chosen one, are rising not in bitterness but in glory. Not with vengeance in your heart but with fire in your bones. This is your vindication. This is your moment of holy reversal. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to fight for your reputation. The same God who saw your tears, who counted your nights of silence, who collected your prayers like treasure, is now turning the tide in your favor. The pit is not your portion. The grave is not your ending. The trap is not your legacy. Resurrection is. So walk forward, not with hesitation but with holy confidence. You are not stepping into favor as a survivor. You are walking into destiny as one who was preserved. Heaven has ruled. The reversal is written. The trap is closed. But you, chosen one, are walking free. Chosen one. The restoration is already in motion. Not a momentary fix or a surface breakthrough, but a deep divine reversal that reaches into every layer of your life, your bloodline, your body, your finances, your name. What was taken from you is coming back with multiplication. What was blocked is now being released with power. What broke generations before you will not continue through you. You were not only chosen to receive healing, you were chosen to carry it forward. You are the threshold where the curse ends and the covenant begins. The pain that traveled through your family line stops here. You have been called not just to survive it, but to reverse it. God is not simply answering your prayers. He is reaching back through your lineage and healing what others didn't have the strength to confront. You are the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. Every hidden wound, every inherited fear, every generational pattern of scarcity, sickness, and shame, it is being uprooted by the authority of heaven. The same spirit that hovered over the chaos in the beginning is now hovering over your house, and what looked like ruin is being rebuilt stone by stone into something holy and lasting. The foundation that was shaken under you will become the very ground you rise from. At the same time, the financial gates are opening. What once moved slowly is now flowing freely. The provision you needed when you were barely holding on, the resources that were denied, the harvest that was delayed, it is all coming into alignment. Not as a coincidence, but as a command. The finances are shifting. The money that was stuck is being unstuck. Doors that were sealed are opening by the voice of God, not the hands of man. The release will not make sense to the natural mind because it is not logical, it is supernatural. This is not a lucky break, it is divine timing. This is not compensation for effort, it is fulfillment of a covenant that cannot be broken. But the blessing is not being released for comfort alone. It is coming with assignment. What heaven is giving you is not just for ease, it is for impact. You are being trusted with overflow because you stayed faithful in drought. You didn't stop sowing when your hands were empty. You didn't stop believing when your heart was tired. You didn't curse God when it hurt. And now, He's opening the storehouses not just to lift your burden, but to prepare your platform. This release will change the way you worship. It will deepen your gratitude. It will silence your fear. It will build what once lay in ruins. The healing being released is not just for your physical body, it is for your lineage, The restoration being poured out is not just for your peace, it is for the generations coming after you. The inheritance being delivered is not just about money, it is about mandate. You are being positioned not for luxury, but for legacy. The revival begins with you. The turning point is in you. The hand of God is resting upon you because He knows what you carry, and every space that once echoed with lack will now be filled with divine fullness. Every emptiness is being invaded by the presence of restoration. What the enemy feared most is now unfolding. You are rising into your rightful place, and with you rises everything heaven promised. You were never meant to stay hidden. The pain you endured in silence was never wasted. Every overlooked effort, every private battle, every moment you swallowed your tears and chose to love, anyway, heaven recorded it all. And now the time has come for your rise. Not a cute one, not a subtle one, but a rise so undeniable that even those who doubted you will have to acknowledge the hand of God over your life. This is not a moment of coincidence. This is a moment of unveiling. What was done in secret is about to be rewarded in the open. What was hidden beneath the weight of struggle is about to be revealed in the light of divine favor. You are not just surviving the fire, you are emerging from it, refined, radiant, and ready. The voices that spoke against you will be silenced, not by your words, but by your fruit. The ones who questioned your worth will be forced to witness your elevation. The same people who dismissed you will now have no choice but to watch you flourish. And it won't be out of pride or revenge, it will be the proof of purpose. God is not lifting you to shame others. He's lifting you to glorify Himself through your life. You were buried in criticism, but you will rise in testimony. You were dragged through false accusation, but you will rise with your name vindicated. The ones who tried to erase your story will see that God was the author all along, and He never stopped writing. This rise is not just about you, it is about everyone connected to your obedience. Your voice is being restored. Your name is being cleansed. Your strength is being renewed. Where shame once sat on your shoulders, honor will now rest. Where fear tried to paralyze you, boldness is taking its place. The cloak of heaviness is being stripped off, and in its place a mantle of glory is being laid upon you. You will walk with a lightness that can only come from deliverance. You will speak with an authority that can only come from crushing. You will move in rooms where you were once rejected, not because man allowed it, but because heaven ordained it. What God is doing now is bigger than restoration. It's recognition. Heaven is validating what others tried to invalidate. You are not being raised quietly in a corner. You are being established in the very presence of those who counted you out. The table is being prepared in front of those who spoke against you, not to humiliate them, but to remind them that your favor was never theirs to control. You are being called forward. You are being placed, and no opinion, no curse, no scheme can stop the hand that is lifting you now. This is your rise, and it will not be hidden. It will not be delayed. It will not be stolen. You are walking into what was always yours. And as you rise, heaven will rise in you. Every step you take will echo with purpose. Every word you speak will carry fire. You are not rising for applause. You are rising for impact. The world is about to see what obedience looks like when it's been through the fire and survived the storm. You are proof that grace still works, that favor still flows, and that heaven still defends its own. This is not your comeback, it is your calling. And you are walking in it now. You have been covered more than you know. The very breath you take is evidence of unseen protection. While you slept, heaven stood guard. While you wept, angels were stationed around you. You were never as alone as you felt. You were never as exposed as you feared. Even when you walked through darkness, even when betrayal surrounded you like smoke, you were shielded by a power that no weapon could penetrate. Every plot that was formed in secret, every trap that was set behind closed doors, every curse that was spoken in bitterness, it all failed. Not because you fought harder, but because God covered deeper. The gates of your life are not unguarded. There are angels standing watch, heavenly sentinels positioned by divine order. They do not sleep. They do not grow tired. They have been assigned to your household, your future, your name. They carry swords of light and eyes that pierce every lie. They are not there because of your perfection. They are there because of your purpose. The enemy has studied you. He has attempted to enter through fear, through shame, through delay, through relationships that looked safe but carried poison. And every time he came too close, the command was issued, "Touch not the anointed." And heaven responded with fire. There is no curse that can cling to what God has cleansed. No hex can rest on what heaven has claimed. You are not standing in your own strength. You are held up by a covenant that cannot break. You are shielded by the blood that still speaks louder than every accusation. Every arrow that was aimed at your mind is being dismantled. Every spiritual attack formed in silence is being shattered by the shout of victory that is now rising over your life. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, not because they won't try, but because they cannot succeed. The war was waged, but heaven won it, long before you ever saw the battle. And now, the walls are reinforced. The gate is locked by divine authority. The access the enemy once had has been revoked. The foothold he used to torment your mind is gone. The voices that echoed with condemnation are silenced. You are stepping into a season where peace will be your default, not the exception. Protection will be your atmosphere, not your desperate prayer. You are no longer living as one under siege. You are living as one under glory. The fire around you is not for your destruction, it is for your defense. You are surrounded not by danger, but by angels. You are not vulnerable, you are sealed. So walk boldly. Walk knowing you are watched over not just by man, but by majesty. Walk like one who knows their name is spoken in the courts of heaven. This is your covering. This is your safety. This is your proof that you are chosen, protected, and untouchable by any darkness that dares to approach. The blood has been applied. The name of Jesus has been spoken. And the command is final. No weapon shall prosper. No enemy shall pass. No harm shall enter. You are his, and you are safe. Chosen one. The healing has already begun, not just in your body, but in the places you've never spoken about. The pain buried deep in your soul, the trauma passed down like a shadow in your bloodline, the heaviness you've carried so long. You began to believe it was part of you. It's all being touched by the hand of God now. Heaven is not sending temporary relief. Heaven is releasing a cleansing wave of holy restoration from the crown of your head to the generations that will come from your name. What doctors could not explain, what prayers once seemed to leave untouched, is being confronted, now not with delay, but with fire and finality. This healing is not shallow. It is deep, generational, eternal. It reaches into the marrow of your bones and the memory of your family line. The things that followed you from childhood, the cycles that tormented your mother, the silence that swallowed your father, the diagnosis that threatened your peace, they are all bowing now at the feet of the one who calls you whole. God is not just healing what hurt you, he is healing what shaped you. The identity that was built on brokenness is being undone. The self-image you formed from rejection is being dismantled. He is not only healing what you've survived, he is healing how you've learned to live under survival. Your nervous system is being calmed. Your immune system is being restored. The tension in your shoulders, the pressure in your chest, the weight on your mind, he is lifting it now. Every cell in your body is coming into agreement with divine order. Your thoughts are being cleared. Your heart is being comforted. You are not just recovering from an attack, you are being reborn into a greater version of who you were always meant to be. And the healing will be so full, so pure, that even those closest to you will wonder where the pain went. They will see your eyes shine again. They will hear laughter return to your home. They will witness strength rise in your voice and peace become your new atmosphere. But God is not stopping with you. The healing is moving through your bloodline like a current of glory. The broken places that lingered across generations, the anger, the abuse, the addiction, the silence, are being interrupted by mercy. Your children will not inherit what you carried. Your descendants will not battle what you overcame. The altar of trauma is being torn down, and a new altar of wholeness is being raised. The patterns that repeated are being replaced with promises. The fractures in your family are being met with fire from heaven, not to destroy but to purify. You will no longer live, waiting for pain to return. You will live, expecting goodness. You will not walk with a limp. You will run with freedom. The voice of the accuser that told you healing was out of reach is being silenced. The voice of the Spirit is now louder, and it is declaring over you healed, restored, renewed, whole. This healing will not fade. This healing is not fragile. This healing has been sealed in the courts of heaven and spoken into the soil of your life. You are not being patched together. You are being made new. And what God heals, He heals completely. You've been asking for a sign, not out loud, but in the quiet places when the tears fell silently, when the road stretched long, when the questions inside you had no name. You wondered if you missed it, if too much time had passed, if your heart had wandered too far to be recalled. But heaven responds now, not with a whisper, but with thunder. This is your confirmation. This is the hour. This is the moment heaven marked long before the pain, before the setback, before the betrayal. You are not behind schedule. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are right where God designed you to stand, and the clock in the Spirit is striking your name. This season is not random. This shift is not subtle. Everything around you is groaning because everything within you is awakening. The delays were not denials, they were alignments. The silence was not absence, it was orchestration. God has been pulling pieces together behind the veil, arranging people, timing, and provision to collide with your purpose at just the right moment. And this is that moment. This is the hour when what you carried privately begins to emerge publicly. This is the place where heaven's plan overtakes your past. This is where you stop surviving and begin stepping into the reason you were born. Everything in your life that felt like disqualification is now becoming the very ground of your authority. Every detour, every disappointment, every door that slammed in your face, it all led here. The enemy tried to use your pain to bury you, but God used it to mark you. The oil on your life flows from the crushing you endured. The fire in your voice was forged in the silence you survived. The anointing you carry was refined in the midnight wrestlings of your soul. And now the spotlight of heaven is resting on what the world tried to overlook. You were not invisible. You were being incubated for such a time as this. Do not doubt what you feel stirring inside you. That trembling in your spirit is not fear, it's confirmation. That fire in your bones is not pressure, it's prophetic evidence. The weight on your heart is the weight of a mantle being placed. You are not feeling things randomly. You are perceiving divine movement. Heaven is bearing witness in your spirit that this is the hour to rise, to speak, to act, to move into the calling that has been breathing beneath your skin for years. No more waiting for perfect conditions. No more questioning your value. You have been chosen, appointed, and now activated. And this is your proof. The winds around you are shifting. The atmosphere within you is changing. The voices that once caused you to shrink are growing quiet. The clarity you've long prayed for is being released. You are not walking blind. You are walking by fire. The presence of God is all around you. His voice is within you. His fingerprint is on every door that's about to open. And this moment, this very one, is not just encouragement, it is heaven's declaration. You are ready. You are marked. You are stepping into the hour that was written for you before you ever knew your name. What's coming next is not just an answer to prayer, it's the response of heaven to your obedience, your endurance, and your unwavering yes. You didn't just wait. You worshipped in the waiting. You didn't just survive. You stayed surrendered. And because you did what is about to be poured into your life, will not be ordinary. It will not be light. It will carry weight. It will carry glory. This is not about small blessings or temporary provision. This is the kind of outpouring that shifts bloodlines, redefines seasons, and announces to the world that the hand of the Lord is upon you. You were not called to live beneath. You were born to carry the atmosphere of heaven itself. And now that weighty presence, the glory that cannot be fabricated or faked, is drawing near. The favor coming to you will not just ease your burdens, it will glorify your God. The overflow will not just bless your hands, it will testify through your story. What you are about to walk into will silence the accusations, answer the doubts, and redeem every season where you wondered if it was worth it. You cried in secret, but now the reward will speak loudly. You served faithfully in silence, but now the oil will run openly. The people who thought you peaked in the last chapter have no idea what's been preserved for this one. The ones who thought your story was over are about to witness God turn your scars into signs. You are not just about to receive more, you are about to become more. God is not just blessing your life. He is expanding your capacity to carry His presence, His wisdom, His glory. This is not just increase. This is divine entrustment. This is not just about having enough. It's about becoming the vessel that overflows into others. So prepare your spirit. Make room in your expectation. This will not look like what you've seen before. It will not follow the pattern of the old season. The blessing won't be comfortable. It will be weighty. It won't just be exciting. It will be holy. You will feel it in your bones. You will sense it before you see it. The glory that is coming to rest upon you will require space, reverence, and surrender. It will require you to lay down what is good so you can carry what is God. It will not come to impress others. It will come to release others. You are not just being blessed for your sake. You are being anointed for theirs. So lift your eyes. The rain is already forming in the clouds. The angels are already releasing assignments. The doors are already trembling at the weight of heaven's command. This is not hype. This is holy. This is not emotional. This is eternal. The outpouring will not be random. It will be marked with miracles, saturated in timing, and undeniable in its source. When it comes, you will know it had nothing to do with your striving, and everything to do with your surrender. This is glory, and it's coming for you. Chosen one, the time for shrinking is over. The days of questioning your authority, doubting your voice, and apologizing for your anointing have come to an end. You have walked through the wilderness. You have wept through the night. You have battled in silence. But now heaven has issued its final charge. Walk boldly, speak clearly, rise fully. You are no longer being hidden. You are being positioned. You are not under judgment. You are under assignment. And the fire that's been burning in your spirit is not chaos, it's confirmation. This world doesn't need more silence. It needs the sound of those who have wrestled in the dark and come out carrying light. You have been trusted with trials because God knew they would not silence you, they would sharpen you. And now He is calling you to rise, not in fear, not in pride, but in divine clarity. Your steps are not uncertain anymore. They are ordered. Your words are not vague anymore. They are prophetic. Your presence is not unnoticed anymore. It is marked. The room shifts when you enter, because heaven has placed something inside you that hell cannot touch. So walk boldly into rooms that once intimidated you. Walk boldly into opportunities that seemed too big. Walk boldly into the future you prayed for with trembling hands. You are not an imposter in the promise. You are the fulfillment of it. You are not walking into places you don't belong. You are stepping into places that were held for you. The keys are in your spirit. The door is already responding to your presence. The blessing is not ahead of you. It is already leaning toward you, waiting for your agreement. Speak clearly now. Say what God has placed on your tongue without fear of who will misunderstand. Do not water down the truth to stay accepted by those who were never assigned to walk with you. Your voice has been refined for such a time as this. Your words carry weight not because of volume, but because of the authority that forged them. Heaven backs what you declare in obedience. The same God who shut the mouths of lions is now opening yours, not to explain but to declare, not to defend but to decree. The atmosphere will shift when you speak. Chains will break when you pray. People will awaken when you testify, and rise fully, not halfway, not cautiously, not with one foot still in the shame of yesterday. Rise with all of who you are. Rise like you believe you're chosen. Rise like someone who carries fire. This is not the season to hold back. This is the moment where your full obedience will unlock generational blessing. This is the moment where heaven will make visible what you carried in silence. Don't wait for permission. Don't look for applause. Walk, speak, rise, because the one who called you is faithful, and what he has begun in you, he will complete through you. You are the proof. You are the light. You are the answered prayer. Now, move forward, bold, clear, full of glory. The world is waiting, and heaven is watching.